Hey, it's Darryl Syms, and today we're going to be talking about my guitar. Since I get a lot of questions on this, what guitar I use, what pickups do I use, how does it stay in tune, all of those things. So hopefully this video is going to answer some of those questions and demonstrate why I think this guitar is the best guitar that I own, because it's the only guitar that I own for now. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So, off the shelf, this is a 2009 Ibanez RG350M, a very popular Ibanez series, the 350, in specific the M. I don't know what that stands for, but I mean it's the yellow model. And I do know that this guitar was produced just for 2 years, in 2009, 2010. It's an Indonesian guitar, which was almost just a typical mid-range model. Originally, it came with almost none of the stuff that it actually has on it right now, apart from obviously all the wood and the paint job. But just before I take you through all the upgrades that I made to this, first of all, the body is a basswood body, or basswood. It's not basswood, is it? It's basswood. A maple neck, maple fretboard. I absolutely love the maple feel. I have tried guitars with a rosewood or ebony fingerboard, and it's not my preference unless it's on an acoustic guitar. I did have a Martin GPC K05, something like that. It had an ebony fingerboard and it was absolutely beautiful, but on an electric guitar, maple all the way. The last thing that has remained original on this is, well, nothing actually. So let me talk you through the upgrades. So this guitar is equipped with an original Floyd Rose Trem system here and the nut up the top. This has got a brass block on the back. You can't see because I got the back plate there, which is also linked to this Tremol-No system, which allows me to lock the bridge. Not that I do that very often, but if I happen to have some very bad tuning problems, it's always lock that bridge down. However, tuning problems do not happen with this bridge and this setup, since I also have locking tuners, which I'll get to in a moment. The only thing that causes me a tuning issue is actually the nut here, since as you can see, it's very worn down. This needs replacing sometime soon. And you'll notice that I don't actually use the locking tuners that came with this. There's no need, because I mean it's a locking bridge and I've also got locking tuners here, so I much prefer the flexibility of being able to adjust the tuning as I please. These tuners are Vanson tuners. It's not really a popular brand as such. These actually just came off Amazon for about £30 in the UK, but they're awesome. They've lasted me years and they're really reliable, so I definitely recommend them. These discs on the bottom kind of rotate, which is what sort of pinches the string on the other side, and this also makes tuning a whole lot easier, since you can hopefully see that there are no winds around the pegs at the top. So again, this just makes it a whole lot easier for me, because I don't have to keep winding the pegs around and around. It just takes a couple winds and my guitar is in tune. One more thing I should add here is that the springs on the back, there are only 2 springs that connect to the Floyd Rose Trem rather than 3, because more than often you'll get on Ibanez guitars 3 springs or 5 springs, and they're what I believe are called soft tension springs, but I prefer less springs, which are high tension, and it gives my trem a bit more of a fluttery butterfly effect when I hit the trem bar. Not that I do very often, since I don't really use the bar very often at all. I actually just get the fingers in there and pull the bridge a bit, but it's nice that it has that option. Moving on from here, across the neck, we have super tall jumbo frets here. This has had 1 refret, and I think it's coming up to needing another one sometime in the near future, since the frets wear down very easily since they're nickel. I have considered getting them refret to stainless steel. I'm not too sure about that. If you guys have any experience on that, or maybe you recommend or don't recommend, let me know in the comments below. I want to experiment more with fret sizes and materials, but I haven't had the chance, since, you know, this doesn't happen very often and I only have the 1 guitar to try, so your input would be greatly appreciated here. Now moving on to the pickups and the electronics here, we have 3 DiMarzio pickups. I've got a DiMarzio tone zone in the bridge, a cruiser bridge in the middle position, and a cruiser neck in the neck. This cruiser neck is probably my #1 all-time favorite pickup. It's absolutely beautiful and appropriate for most genres that I play. And you'll notice that the wiring down here is a little bit strange. I've got a few holes that shouldn't be there, since I've experimented with some coil taps and things, and eventually I've worked my way to the setup that I've got now. But I've moved the volume knob from here to here and eliminated the tone knob. Since I don't use it, I kind of like the volume knob out the way. The pickup selector remains pretty average, you know, with the neck controls the neck, this position controls the 2 pickups, the middle controls the middle, and so on, just as you'd expect. And lastly, the electronics inside here have been wired as what they call vintage wiring. I don't know the specifics behind it, but it's supposed to last longer and produce a more effective signal path between the input jack and the pickups. Also on the volume pot, I have a treble bleed, which is very important since I like to keep that high end as I roll off that volume, since effectively that volume pot is my tone pot. And more than often on typical volume pots that don't have a treble bleed, you'll roll off that volume and it'll sound a bit muddy. I never used to use the volume pot as a tone pot, but when I discovered this is definitely my #1 all-time favorite mod that you could do to any guitar to improve the clarity and overall tone of your pickups as you decrease that volume. Now I guess the last thing that I should mention with this is the neck has actually been stripped completely down and re-oiled with a special blend of oils that my friend Ian Randall created. It smells beautiful and it feels beautiful. I much prefer a more organic feel with necks that don't feel like they're covered in lacquer or like a plastic coating as such. I much prefer to be able to feel the wood, which is why it's got the color that it has, that almost dark roasted maple look. Now I think that is just about everything on my guitar I've gone through. I got a piece of Velcro on the bottom here for when I play live and I'm doing some incredibly huge stretches. It sort of adds a bit of grip to my leg so that I can lift the guitar up a little bit and achieve those super duper stretches. And that is just about it. Apart from the wear and tear as I've explained on the neck, and you know, it's got a bunch of dents at the bottom here and a bunch of stickers on the back because I kind of like that rustic feel. It's not my favorite color. I don't know what provoked me to choose a bright yellow guitar 10 years ago or however long I bought this thing. So it's been through a lot. I've snapped the neck on this too and repaired it, but like I say, I don't mind that rustic feel for this guitar. My next guitar, I will definitely look after and it will not have any dents on it. At least I'll try my best to. But anyways, I hope that answers some of your questions on what guitar I use and, you know, the whole setup side of things. I've seen some people who watch my videos and comment saying that they want to buy this guitar, but unfortunately it is a discontinued model and it's not original at all. You can't buy this. This is a completely custom bit of kit. You have to kind of buy all the parts that go with it and things. But I do hope that one day I can work with a company and play a guitar that I love, which is at least almost stock, that you can actually buy and get hold of, so that you're also able to achieve some of the tones that I get in my videos. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.